Good afternoon, child of grace. Just wanted to get on here and expound a little bit from what I left off yesterday. What I was thinking about in that text was Isaiah, where it was talking about the supposed space travel and what we're seeing on our news that I believe to be nothing more than this right here. Fixing to read it. It says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High God. Brothers and sisters, I believe what we have disguised as government programs, this very thing that is going on right now, behind the scenes, Lucifer, and the I will in here is Lucifer. I will do this, but he says, but thou shalt be brought down. He's got to the pit. Brothers and sisters, I believe that's what's going on the news. I just wanted to expound a little bit more on what I believe it is from Scripture. And of course, God's people, he's tricked God's people into being complicit, or if they're not complicit, they're just saying, oh, they're believing it like I did. But no, brothers and sisters, just because somebody has gray hair and talks with some kind of foreign accent and put all these degrees in front and back of their name, doesn't mean they're bringing to you the truth, brothers and sisters. But anyway, just wanted to show you this one text. This is in Isaiah 14:6. There's several places there where it talks about this. Oh, the old Lucifer, that's what he's doing, and he's tricking God's people. But, brothers and sisters, being tricked by the devil is not a requirement for God's great glory, his glory world. He loves us more than that. But in fact, he's not going to lose one. At the end of the world, he said, he'll raise everything that the Father gave him at the last day. So everything's going to be the Father gave him. Jesus has not failed in everything's come to fruition. He's not going to lose one. But anyway, just wanted to point that out before I left here about the being Satan want to exalt himself above the stars. I believe that's what we're seeing on our news right here in person, right in front of you to this day. Is coming to fruition. His grand design that most of God's people are falling for. That I've seen. But anyway, another place here is where it says that got me to start examining what I believe to be true, the things that I was allowing in my head, was about Joshua's longest day. Joshua commanded the sun and moon to stand still in the midst of heaven. And so if we don't believe any other thing about, if nobody believes any other thing that I put on here, just believe this: the earth is not in motion. All the other particulars, we can have dueling Bible verses over. But we know that that the earth is stable, that it be not moved. What I used to do is I used to get my phone, and I found I had a feature on it that you just talk into it, and a text would pop up and tell you where it was. So the earth shall be stable, that it be not moved. And right here we have the sun and moon. The sun being in motion. This is one of the big things that I saw. I said, wow, this is the big elephant in the room. If God's people will be honest with themselves, look at this. Talking about Psalms 19 and 6. His going forth is from the end of heaven, and his circuit, notice that, brothers and sisters, circuit, not orbit, circuit, not orbit, and his circuit unto the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. In other words, this is talking about God's Son, so his S-U-N, you know, his going forth. It goes forth and it makes a circuit, not a orbit like we're told. But anyway, it's all and on through Scriptures. He set boundaries. You know, I don't want to get into all that, but we don't have to know any other thing, brothers and sisters, that the earth is not in motion, that it is fixed, and that it be not moved. So when I started to see that, I said, well, from God's written account of his word, I have established that it's not in motion. And that alone is enough to tell you we're being lied to on a monumental scale, brothers and sisters. And wow, when I found that out, I said, wow, what a revelation. So I was just going to go here and expound on it today. The sun goes forth, makes a circuit, you know. And there's other texts in there that kind of paint a picture. We don't have to know all the particulars, like I say. All we have to know, the earth is not moving. Don't want to argue with anybody, but it's good to know. It's useful information to know that you're being lied to, brothers and sisters. That you don't have to believe everything just because they say that how smart they are. After all, how smart can they be if they believe that they're on a spinning ball speeding through space on some pointless, unending race? How smart can they be? Well, I don't believe. I believe a lot of them know the truth, but they, great multitudes of them, they just they think it's true. You know, they think that the old devil's lie is true, and they teach it and pass it on to the next people. So I don't know. I don't think that that's a requirement for the God's glory world, understanding all mysteries. But I think that it's all by 100% grace. Let's see what it says. It says boundaries. As text in there, it talks about he has made boundaries out there at the end of this thing. I believe it to be a flat plane. Our up is up, our down is down. Sun, moon, and stars going round and round, brothers and sisters. That's what I think it looks like. But not knowing all the particulars, I'm not God. But I know enough to know that what they're telling us on the TV is not true. And it's good to have this useful information. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say and expound on what I said yesterday. Now, brothers and sisters, it's a wonderful thing to wake up in the morning and know that there's a God in control of everything. And he's not going to discard you at the drop of a hat because you had some kind of that besetting sin that often tricks you, and you keep going to him over and over again, telling him you're sorry. But what I'm trying to say is, brothers and sisters, his whole kingdom is built upon love. It's a family thing, and it's a wonderful thing. And I think he's revealing a lot of this truth here in these last days. Especially, you turn your little set on, which, you know, I don't recommend watching it because who knows what's going to get stuck in that head, you know, that you believe a lie. They just come on there and they just assume. They don't say this is true. They just assume that everyone believes what they're saying. And they make these grand assumptions, you know, that what they tell you is true. That's one of the big tricks. Oh, yeah. Of course, everybody, you know, who are these crazy folks over here that think that the earth is flat? I never said that I thought the earth was flat. I think that it's level, and it has beautiful mountains and streams and valleys. But for the most part, the water finds its own level, brothers and sisters. But anyway, just want to get on here and talk to the people that tune in my little channel. And I'm fixing to go do some errands here. And I thought I would make a video because I always think of something that I leave off when I hang up on this telephone. We used to have party lines in our little town here down here, and you could pick up and they'd be talking about somebody in town, and they'd hear you pick up and they'd say, they'd call you by name and say, y'all hang up, we're talking, you know. They had party lines back in the old days. Now we have somebody's probably listening to everything we say And except they don't tell you, you know. But no, brother and sister, God is even in control of all that. You know, nobody's gonna snatch all this government spying. Nobody's gonna snatch one out of his hands. You know, if we live, it's Christ. To die is gain, brother and sister. It's a good thing to die because you're absent with the body and you're present with Jesus Christ until the very last day. So just wanted to get on here and talk about flat earth. And then when you start talking about flat earth, it brings up all the other lies that we're told in our religious. There's a religious lie that's even greater than flat earth. And that is that God chose everybody. Everybody, no, God didn't choose. How do you choose everybody? That's not true, brother and sister. That's what we write it in our the belief system of our day. It would be unfair for God to love Jacob and hate Esau, or it would be unfair for him to have a vessel of honor and a vessel of dishonor. It would be unfair for him to have a goat and a sheep. It would be unfair. But what God says, well, no, nobody's going to tell me what I'm doing. He's God. But anyway, just want to point that out. God is God. And if you are interested in spiritual matters, that is the evidence that you're one of his. Peace and love from Miss Old Boy down here in Alabama.